They don't want to see us win, prosper, and they'll do anything in their power to stop that. To them, we're not even considered human beings. It's time we stand together.
Peace and power, my brothers and my sisters. The Midnight Advocate, where law meets life, midnight meets mission. I'm Reverend Lucius Conway. Tonight we face a clash of authority and conscience. Governor Gavin Newsom, joined by the state of California, has sued President Trump, Secretary Hegseth, and the Department of Defense for unlawfully federalizing our National Guard without the governor's consent, or rather the National Guard of California, in violation of 10 United States Code Section 12406 and the Constitution. While that case moves through the Northern District of California, the people must move in prayer and principle. This is episode 55, Prayer in the Face of Power. Let's break this down. A snapshot of the complaint is this. The plaintiff is Governor Newsom, the Commander-in-Chief of the California National Guard and the state of California. The defendant is President Trump, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, and the Department of Defense itself. The relief sought is declaratory judgment that the June 7th and 9th orders are beyond the powers that Congress vested in the president under the law, because the statute requires the governor's consent for the president to federalize the National Guard in his state, and an injunction halting further federalization. Here are the allegations that Governor Newsom is making: that there was a statutory bypass. Section 12406 plainly requires that any federal call-up shall be issued through the governors. Instead, Secretary Hegseth personally ordered 2,000 Guard troops on June 7th and another 2,000 today on June 9th without Governor Newsom's involvement. There was no rebellion and no emergency. The statute authorizes federalization only to repel invasion, suppress rebellion, or execute federal law when regular forces are insufficient. The California protests are largely peaceful. They've been managed by the LAPD and the LASD, and they do not meet any of those criteria, so says the complaint. State sovereignty and public safety by diverting 4,000 Guard members for 60 days cripples the state's ability to respond to fires, disasters, and emergencies during peak wildfire season. Now, to read the full complaint that was filed in the court by Governor Newsom and the Attorney General of California, hit the tiny URL that's coming up on the next slide, and you can read exactly what they filed, exactly what they're arguing. This isn't just politics here. This is a constitutional check on executive overreach by the president and his cabinet, particularly Secretary Hegseth, and it's also about defense of civilian rule. Yeah, we're back to civilian oversight, a government by who? The people. By the people and for the people. So our spiritual food tonight is this. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15 from our Ethiopic Bible. In returning and rest, you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. When the founding fathers faced overbearing powers, they retreated first to prayer before they enacted change. Jesus withdrew to the mountain. The disciples huddled in the storm. Tonight, we do the same. Understanding that prayer is not passivity. It is the wellspring of courage and clarity. Here's what you can do. First of all, stay informed. Read the Newsom complaint in its entirety. Hit that tiny URL, write it down, and go and read that complaint. It'll pop right up in a PDF. And read what they said in their complaint. Stand in prayer. I need you to type "I agree" in the comments if, in fact, you uphold civilian oversight over militarized power and the primacy of prayer over panic. Type "I agree" if, in fact, you uphold civilian oversight over militarized power and the primacy of prayer over panic. Your typing "I agree" is your prayer. And then share this episode widely. I mean, share it all over the country. Share it to your whole friends list. Let's get people in prayer tonight, and let's get this situation turned from wrong to right. And we'll see that when power oversteps, people step back to God. Let's pray it out. The Lord bless and keep you. May He guard our governors and ground our guards in lawful duty. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May His grace restrain unchecked power and raise up righteous counsel. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace that flows from prayer, not force, from faith, not fear. Rest well, my brothers and my sisters. We rise. One complaint, one prayer, one midnight at a time. This is the Midnight Advocate.